Hello beauties and welcome or welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, also known as Live a Life's Beauty, and I'm so glad that you have found me. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for joining me again on another video. So guys, we are in 2026. I can't actually believe that I'm saying that. It seems like the year went really fast, but it also seems like the year went really slow at the same time. In today's video, we are going to be talking about my 2025 goals, see if I managed to accomplish them or not, and then we're going to talk about how we can improve it in 2026. So in 2025, I set three major categories, and in those three major categories, I set subcategories. We had hobbies, we had life and beauty, and we also had like goals and accomplishments. One of my goals was to touch my sewing machine every week. Guys, I think it's safe to say that I don't know what kind of ambitious goal I thought that was because that did not happen, guys. As a busy mama of three who does sewing as a hobby, we all know that when life gets busy, your hobbies are the first to take a back seat. Sometimes it's for days, sometimes it's for weeks, and sometimes it's for months. And that has taken a back seat for some time now. What I will say is that whilst it didn't get touched every week, there wasn't a lot of weeks where I wasn't at least doing something on the sewing machine, whether it be mending or bigger projects. So it did get a lot more use than it did before. Another one of my goals off the top of my head was to film 1 or 2 YouTube videos a week for you guys. And again, guys, I can say we failed on that one. Mostly, again, YouTube is my hobby, and again, when life gets busy, it's just the first to take a back seat. Also, guys, some of it wasn't exactly my fault. I did get help last year from a family member who would edit my videos for me. So that's why I had a lovely intro with some music and lovely outro with some music. However, when that family member got busy in their day job, they obviously didn't have time to edit the videos for me to that standard, and I was just kind of waiting because they would say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it this day, and it never got done. And then I didn't want to kind of go back to my version of editing it because I did like how they edited it and I just thought it had a little bit more pizzazz. But so some weeks I was just sitting on videos and they got filmed, but they never got posted. And then time went past and I was just like, oh, is it even worth me like filming another video if they don't even have the time to edit the one that they have before? One of my goals was to sew more than I buy. And I can confirm, guys, I totally failed on that one. I had planned to sew and make so many more outfits rather than buying my outfits just to really get my practice in, and obviously to be cost effective. I have a lot of fabric which was waiting for me to get through, guys, and again, I just didn't have the energy. I will say, guys, I'm currently battling like some kind of energy fatigue syndrome going on in my body because I do have the time, I just don't have the energy. I'm running around with a busy toddler and I think he just wipes out of me. And when he's napping, I either want to relax or I either want to get the house jobs done that I haven't been able to do. So it doesn't really leave much energy for me at the end of the night to kind of get onto my hobbies. So yeah, I didn't get sewing, guys. What I will say is that I found my love of thrifting. At least 90% of the items that I have purchased have been secondhand, and I just feel like I'm doing my little bit for the environment. Also, I have been getting so many compliments on my thrifted pieces. Honestly, when I've been wearing them, people have been like, where did you get that from? Oh, that's really nice. And I'm like, oh, I got it from a secondhand shop. I say thrift because I watch so many of my Americans, but I am actually from the UK, and over here it is charity shops. So whilst I do buy a lot of furniture from charity shops, I don't actually buy clothes until this year. But I started doing that. I started to actually see what is in the shops, things that I could never afford brand new, and items I've actually really loved. So don't sleep on your charity shop, guys. It's not like back in the day where it was just people's old tat. Like nowadays, people are consuming on such a huge scale that they're practically getting rid of brand new things just because they don't want them anymore. Another one of my goals, which wasn't channel related, was to glam up. So I had a baseline makeup of what I wanted to look like every day and how I wanted to present myself. And I will say, for the most part, I did that. I have just really also been embracing my natural beauty, because there's nothing wrong with that, with a little bit of tweaks, and I can say I accomplished that. There wasn't many days where I was kind of like hiding, thinking, oh my goodness, nobody look at me, I don't want to be seen. So I would put that to a win. Another one of my 2025 goals was to find my personal style and just to be a little bit more trendy. And I will say that again, I think I have done that. Whilst I'm not at my optimal level of, how I want to dress, because I am still walking around with a 2-year-old who uses me as a snot rag. I have definitely upped my style again. I've been getting a lot of compliments. I'm laughing because it's funny. I've been getting a lot of compliments about the way I dress. Again, just with my charity shop finds and with just hand putting myself together, even on a basic day. I'll never forget, I went to like a car boot with my family, and when I rocked up there, I just put on like my basic outfits, and when I rocked up, they were like, oh, I really like this fit, like it's basic but it's like got a little pizzazz to it. And I was like, oh, thank you. Didn't even try today, I just threw it on. But yeah, so it's I don't know why that's so funny to me, but yeah, because it just goes to show that obviously I wasn't living my best creative life, was I? I've really implemented more colour into my wardrobe. I mean, I haven't again reached optimal level at that, but I am a lot more like colourful, which you won't believe it now, I'm in like black and white stripes, but we're gonna wear what we've got as well. Really kind of ditched the black, and I'm just really on the dopamine dressing. Also, I've not labeled myself to one style. Sometimes I look eclectic, sometimes I look classy, sometimes I look edgy, and I really like that. I will say, my old habits have been drawing me back, especially in the winter months. I'm a tracksuit girly, and I don't want to be a tracksuit girly. I want to be like a tight and a skirt in the winter girly. But the tracksuits just keep calling me. Again, my toddler, when it's winter, everybody's ill. I don't want to be getting bogey on my tights, On my tracksuit bottoms, I'm okay with. On my tights, not so much. But yeah, that's made me really happy. So I've definitely stuck to that. And then some other personal goals, which I decided to throw out there with you guys, was my relationship with God, was to read my daily devotional morning and night, and to read my daily devotional with my kids. Now, I will say, it wasn't going so good until the last quarter of the year. I would say from about October to December, I really shined, guys. I really knuckled down on my whole morning routine, and I really got that going. So every morning I wake up before my kids, I get washed and dressed before they wake up, and I read my Bible before they wake up. That has been huge and tremendous. But nighttime, guys, it has not been so great. I'm just really zumped by the time I pick up the kids from school after I've made dinner, cleaned up. I'm ready to just hit the hay. So I really do need to get into my nighttime routine of that, just so that I am, marinating day and night on the word. And then the daily devotional with my kids, again, hit and miss, because I'm kind of leaving it up to them. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. But again, towards the end of the year, so I would say with them, it was more December, as they were kind of seeing that I was sticking to my routine in the mornings and reading my Bible. Sometimes I would come in and I'd be reading it, or most of the time I'd packed it away because I'd finished my routine before I woke them up. It really did get them thinking about the Bible. And now they have the Bible app, and they have this app called Streetlights, which is a Christian Bible app where they listen to the Bible on that app. And it's the Bible with dramatized music. And every morning I do hear my daughter playing it, and she is making her way through it. Some of the things in there, just Genesis alone is a bit like, Mom, why are the people doing this to the people? And why is the lady doing things with her dad? And I've just been, having to talk through that as best as I can. But she's older now. She will be going to secondary school next year. No, this year, September this year, she'll be going to secondary school. So you know, it's about time that we learn these things and she learns them in the correct way. So as she gets older, you know, those are the things that come with it. As much as my little mama heart is saying, are you even old enough to be talking about these things? We do have to talk about these things, and we do have to obviously shake the taboo so that it is not an awkward situation for her or for me, and that if in the future situations arise, she can come and talk to me about them. Before I started reading the Bible for myself, I definitely thought the Bible was one thing, and after I read it, I've really come to realize it is another thing. It really has some solid lessons in there to really drum home to you the do's and the don'ts of the world. So that's everything that I kind of wrote down for my goals of 2025, and now we are on to my goals of 2026, guys. So for 2026, I am doing what the YouTube girlies do, and I'm breaking everything down into quarters. If you do not know what that means, it's basically breaking the whole year down into bite-sized quarters, and through them quarters you just focus on so many specific goals in that time frame to hopefully help you tick off things faster throughout the year, rather than kind of chunking everything into one year and then things getting missed or priorities taking over. That is how I'm currently treating life at the moment. So everything to do with my life is based in quarters. It's based in a 3-month increment, so it is from January to March. Number one, my YouTube. So again, guys, I just want to stick to one YouTube video a week. I've really enjoyed being more active on YouTube. However, I do see YouTube as a hobby, and when life gets busy, it was the first thing to take a back seat. But now I'm kind of looking at it more not as a business, because I don't get paid from YouTube, guys. One, I don't have enough subscribers. Two, I don't have nearly enough views. But taking it more seriously, so not just a hobby, not quite a business, but just a little bit more seriously. So one video a week. For this year, it was predominantly my sewing journey, but I do want to switch that up a bit. So still having my sewing journey, doing some talking head videos where it will still be about creative endeavors, because that is basically what my channel is about, and also having my Cricut crafts on here, because I didn't really share many of my Cricut projects on here, but I did do a lot of Cricut stuff. But again, I think I just kind of made it more sewing focused this year. But sewing and Cricut crafts can go hand in hand, because you can sew a project and then personalize it using your Cricut. So I really want to work on showing you guys that, because I did a lot of that and I really like the outcome of some of those things that I did. Everything is not taking it too seriously. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel. It's here for me to share with you guys whilst also documenting it for myself. So I need to share it with you guys. You know, I kind of started sharing with you guys, and then I kind of fell off sharing it, mainly because I would have this free time to start my project, but I would not have the free time to finish the projects. If you are new here, then my sewing area is in my living room. In the evenings, it's not really easy to pick out the camera and keep showing you guys, because my whole family is here. But I am kind of working on how I can take you along, but not be a perfectionist. So maybe just filming that bit with a voiceover, or filming that bit with not the best of lighting, but just having it out to you guys. I'm still up in the air. On that note is my style of videos. So just realizing that not everything has to be this major big project. You know, I watch a lot of YouTubers that have this, how many tops can I sew in a day? How many items can I make in a week? And that's great for them. I love watching them videos, but I'm just not that person. I don't have that free time or that energy to do that kind of bulk session. So I feel like, oh, is anybody going to watch me make a little old outfit? But you know, I'm here to share the things that I make, and most of my makes are realistic things in a realistic time frame. Another thing that I am not doing in 2026 is sewing challenges. So in 2025, I made a video of my make 9, and I will talk about that in its own separate video, but we will touch on it here. I think I made one thing off that make 9. So spoiler alert for the next video, I made one thing off it. As great as it was, as me trying to challenge myself, because that's what it ultimately was there for, a lot of the things were just way out of my skill level, for one. Two, way out of my budget. And three, unpractical. But we'll touch back base in that on a talking head video. So watch out for that. Then last but not least, guys, is use up my fabrics. So if you've watched my last couple of videos, we have been having a massive declutter and organize of my home, and that has resulted in so many fabrics, guys. We have old clothes, we have old fabric that I've dug out, and we are only going to be using that bin for the next 3 months, because that is basically the weather appropriate fabric for those months here in the UK. Whilst it's not a challenge, it is kind of like a, okay, we really need to knuckle down now, because the amount of things that are in there and growing by the minute is ridiculous. So we really need to start getting some of those projects pulled out and completed. I've been yapping so much, my memory has ran out and the lighting has changed, so here we are in a new setup. Those are my Q1 goals for 2026. Do let me know what your goals are regarding your hobbies and interests, or anything personal that you've set yourself this year, because I do want to hear. Do leave me a comment down below, because I always can see the numbers of who's watching, but I never know exactly who's watching. So let's get to know each other. And with that being said, do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.